Thank you for joining us. My name is Zach Stabler, and I'm sitting here with Paula Stabler. She's a candidate for Osage Nation Congress. You can head to www.stablerforcongress.com for more information and also links to donate and volunteer and hear a little bit more about, or read a little bit more about her message. Paula is actually my aunt, and I've been going to Pawhuska since I was born, obviously, as well as the rest, all 500 members of our family. And we all sort of meet up at Paula and Charlie's house, and there's always food, and there's always, a home, if we need to stay there whatsoever. So whenever I think of Osage Nation, I do think of Paula. And you wanted to talk a little bit about the family and all of that. So What do you have to say?
Sure. Well, I thought it would be kind of nice to explain who I am. There's a lot of people who know me, but some don't. And so our family, of course, branches off from the Red Eagle family. Our grandmother, your dad's my grandmother, was Margaret Iron, and she was a Red Eagle to Paul and Cecilia Red Eagle. And so that's our family lineage on that Osage side. She was married to Waken Iron, and they had a wonderful marriage for 17 years up until his death in 1968. And so we were raised with him as our grandfather. And it was a wonderful home. And the same thing, the feelings you feel when you come to Pawhuska are the same feelings I felt going to their home. It was just a wonderful time of full-bloods and conversational Osage and people raising vegetables, and there are constant dances and dinners going on. And so it's a wonderful, blessed childhood that I remember coming up. My dad is Paul Stabler, and of course he grew up in the camp. He and his brother Bitsy, that's what everybody called him, Lewis Stabler, they literally grew up as little kids in the Indian camp and ran around when it was really truly out in the country and dirt roads and that sort of thing. So back in the 90s, back in 90, so I'd say probably 94, I started living there full time and working in Tulsa and commuting back and forth and staying with our grandmother. And one of the things that transpired while I was living there was I was elected as chairman of the village at that time. And we're talking back in 99, 98, and before that. And one of the things that happened as I was going through some trying times in working with the village was the pressure was on. There was just a lot that I was having to deal with. And, of course, I had grown up in the village on the happy side of being granddaughter to Margaret Iron, and now I was responsible for a lot of things. And so during that time, I went to my dad to counsel with him and to tell him about all the things I was facing and, wanted him to, tell me what to do. I just, not sure what to do, so tell me what to do. And he just looked at me like he's a man of few words, and he just looked at me and he said, well, if you can't handle it, then you need to step aside and let someone else handle it. And that just crushed me to the bone because I thought, you don't think I can do this? And so, but it made me stand up and decide I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
I'm going to
absolutely.
step up and take control of what needs to be taken control of. So we have a lot of struggles in the village, and everybody's heard me talk about those, but it all comes from the heart to deal with it.
And, speaking of family, speaking to the elderly, that's another big priority for you, right? Is taking care of them and facilitating, providing nursing, senior nursing homes and assisted living and things like that. What are your goals with that? What do you?
Oh, absolutely. That was something that my dad worked on because he was director of the Agency on Aging for 17 years, and so we learned at a very young age about his work, and then we went through that phase with our grandmother, and so now we're without a nursing home in Pawhuska. So people always just expect the tribe to just write a check, for something. But I think this is more than that. This is an opportunity for us to really get ready for that senior wave that's coming in the next few years. And we have senior living, which is wonderful. It's independent living, it's apartment living, but somebody mows your yard and changes light bulbs and that sort of thing. So we need to take that next step into assisted living. And people keep coming to me because I'm with the health center to say that that's a health issue. It's not a health issue. It is a housing issue because assisted living is giving services that simply assist someone, just like changing light bulbs. And maybe you need to have meals delivered, which we have Title VI. It's a coordination of services with a little additional assistance in the home. But as long as they can stay ambulatory, you're there for them. There's no worries about emergencies and things. And then we need to step right into nursing home. The saddest day of my life was taking our grandmother to a nursing home outside the res. And it was a beautiful place. It was nice. It was clean. It was neat. It had all the amenities, but it wasn't home.
Right.
So it's time for us to do something at home so that our people can come home and have those cultural ties, and for us to take care of our own people. That's a part of our history and our culture. So those are the things I really would like to focus on.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. That was Paula Stabler, candidate for Osage Nation Congress.